2 years. And I just want to open with one of the devotions I wrote. Hopefully this will bless all of you. But in Romans 8:28, it tells us that we know all things work together for the good of those who love God, those who are called according to his purpose. Well, I can remember when I was a little kid, and I remember the awesome lineup in the afternoon every weekday, because Saturday morning was cartoon day, but during the weekdays, I remember there was Mr. Rogers. I love Mr. Rogers. Sesame Street, I love that even more. And the Electric Company, that was okay. But I remember when they were all over, there was a man that would come on the TV, and he was very calm, and he had a joyful spirit to his heart. His name was Bob Ross, and he did this show called The Joy of Painting, and it wasn't that he was a great artist, but he had this joyful attitude that just attracted people. He was always smiling, he was always happy, he was always painting these happy little trees and happy little rocks and make a happy little mountain over here. Everything was so happy. And he had the power to do that because he was the artist. But every once in a while, he would make a mistake. And he would cover it up. He would say, hey, we don't make mistakes on this show. We just make happy little accidents. he would cover it up. And in the picture, when it was complete, you didn't even notice that mistake. It was beautiful. It was incredible what he did. And what I'm telling you is that he had the power to do this because he was the artist. Well, God is the artist of our lives. He is in control of our lives. And when we make mistakes, and let's face it, we all make mistakes. No matter how hard we try to do the right thing, there's times we blow it. Let's face it, we blow it. We make a big mistake, we make a little mistake. But God, if we bring those mistakes to him, it says in Romans 8:28, he works all things for the good of those who love him, those who are called according to his plan. So when we make a mistake, and we all make mistakes, I already went over that. Everybody's in agreement, right? We all make mistakes, right? Okay. So when we make the mistake, we don't want to hold on to it. We need to take it to God. We need to bring it to him, because if we don't bring it to God, that mistake is going to quickly become a big disaster in our lives. But if we take it to God, then he'll turn our mistakes into happy little accidents. just like Bob Ross did on the canvas. Because God is the artist of this world. This world is his canvas. Our lives are in his hands. So there's three things that we need to do. We need to remember to do. One, we need to remember to always remain in the faith, to hold on to the faith, because the faith, it's the power that God has given us. It's our shield. It's the only thing that we have to block off the mistakes we make in this life. And we need to hold on to our faith, but even more importantly, we need to remain focused. When we make a mistake, we don't get all depressed. We don't say, well, I blew it, it's over now. We need to remain focused on what God wants out of our lives. And the third F, most importantly, we need to fix our eyes on Jesus. Because no matter what we do, no matter how well we think our lives are in God's plan, we are going to make mistakes. But if we have our eyes focused on Jesus, then we know where to go when we make those mistakes. We don't try to cover them up. We don't try to push them off on somebody else. We take them to Jesus. We need to have our eyes fixed on Jesus.